Hi, and welcome to class. We're going to begin with a brief seated meditation. So find a comfortable seat, close your eyes, go inward, and focus on your breath. Now, instead of trying to take deeper or slower breaths, imagine that your body is being breathed and you are just witnessing it. And as you let go of some tension and strain, notice how there's more room for breath. Now, keeping your focus inward on the breath, let's come into child's pose. Come up onto your hands and your knees. Come into cat-cow, round your back. Spread through your shoulder blades. Press the floor down. Inhale into extension. Exhale to round the spine. Inhale into extension. Exhale to round. One more. Inhale. Exhale. Then keep the rounded spine, the cat spine, and then start to reach your hips back towards your heels. Come back up on your hands. Maybe walk the hands a little bit further forward as you engage your glutes and bring your hips towards your wrists. Lift your hips up and favor the cat spine as you reach the hips back. Lift your hips back up. And now cow spine. Engage the glutes. Start to roll the spine into extension. Again, lift up. Cat spine, stretch back. Up and forward. Cow spine as you engage your glutes. Stretch through your belly, through the front of your hips. Draw the hips back and up. Now step your left foot up to the outside of your left hand. Reach your left elbow down to the ground. Turn your belly, reach your left arm up. Turn your palm open. Exhale, left elbow down, reach to the ground. Inhale, twist, reach and open up your palm. Exhale. Inhale, reach, twist. Lift up back knee. Stretch your top arm overhead. Take your arm back up as you lower your knee and reach back towards your back heel, back of your mat. Take your arm back up. Plant your hand on the inside of your foot and reach your hips back as you exhale. Stretch down through your inner foot and your toes. Inhale, glide forward, hips melt towards the wrists. Exhale, stretch back. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, stretch back. Inhale, come forward. Lift your back knee. Step into plank position. Take your feet the width of your mat. Lean your weight into your left hand. Don't let your hips twist open to the right. Bring your right hand to your left chest. Change. Shift your weight over into your right hand. Don't let your hips twist. Bring your left hand to your chest. Plant both hands down. Lift your hips and stretch back into wide-legged dog. Then step your right foot up to the outside of your right hand. Drop your knee. Reach your right elbow down. Twist and reach up. Turn your palm open. Exhale, reach down. Inhale, twist open. Exhale, reach down. Inhale, twist open. Lift your back knee up. Reach your right arm overhead. Drop your back knee and reach your arm back towards your back heel. Towards the back of your mat. You can even look back. Reach back up. Put your hand down onto the inside of your foot. Stretch your hips back as you exhale. Reach down through your inner foot and your toes. Inhale, glide forward. Exhale. Inhale, forward. Exhale. Inhale, come forward. Lift your back knee up. This time, walk your hands around to the side of the mat, parallel your feet, and as you inhale, come up onto your fingertips. As you exhale, bend your right knee and let your hips sit towards your left heel. Bend your left knee, sit to your left heel. Inhale back up, and as you exhale, bend your right knee, sit towards your right heel. You can let the toes turn out a little bit. Inhale to center, exhale. Maybe walk the hands a little further towards the foot. Inhale to center, exhale. Maybe even spin the toes up to go a little deeper. Inhale to center, exhale. Last one. Come back to center, then walk back around to the front of your mat in the lunge position. Step into plank pose. Good. Now as you hold in plank, fix your legs, engage your core, let your shoulder blades draw into each other. Like you're sinking into your arms, elbows straight, and then press the shoulder blades away. 2 more times. Sink into the blades, elbows stay straight, engage your legs, squeeze your legs in your core. Press away. Last one, sink. And press away. Now hold the press away position and lift your left leg an inch. Change legs, lift your right leg an inch. Feel the heat building in your body, strong in your upper body, strong in your core. Resist gravity. Set the foot down. Set knees down and control yourself down to elbow height. Pause there. Lift back up. Lower 1 inch above the mat. Pause there. Lift back up. Lower slowly all the way down to your belly. Stretch your arms forward. Reach through your fingers as you reach back through your toes. Inhale. Exhale, roll your arms back and contract your back muscles. Squeeze the elbows back and down. Inhale, stretch forward. This time, hands off the mat. Exhale, squeeze back. Squeeze the backs of your legs, squeeze your glutes. Inhale, stretch forward. Exhale, squeeze, pull back. Stretch your arms out to the side. Reach your arms straight back. Slide your hands next to your chest with your fingers reversed. Lower your chest down, turn the hands around, press up into plank position. Knees down or legs straight this time, your call. Stretch back into down dog or child's pose. I actually like to do a child's pose, puppy dog version for my first one to get a better lat stretch, but just feel it works for you. Walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. And bend your knees a bit, let your head drop. Now with your feet close together, drop your buttocks to your heels, even if you have to lift the heels up. Lift your sternum. Then lift your hips up. Roll yourself up. Spread your arms and reach up. Fold forward. Drop your hips to your heels. Lift your sternum. Drop your head, lift your hips. Roll yourself up. Spread the arms and reach up. Spread the arms and round down. Drop the hips to the heels. Lift the heart. Drop the head, lift the hips. Roll yourself up. Spread your arms and reach up. Last one. Roll down. Drop hips. Lift hips as you drop head. Uttanasana. Plant your hands, step back, plank position. Lower down slowly, elbow height. You can drop knees or keep legs straight depending on your upper body strength. Just make sure you keep your core connected. Press back up. So you're not letting the spine sink or round. Lower again, 1 inch above the mat. Pause. Press back up. Again, lower to elbow height. Pause. Press up. Lower 1 inch above the mat. Often we lack the strength to do this with control, so I'm doing it with knees down just to encourage you that you're really getting control. Lift back up, staying connected to the core. Last round, lower to elbow height. Pause. Press up. Lower 1 inch above the mat. So more time under tension, even if it's modified, is going to help you to get stronger in the right way instead of doing it with legs straight with poor form. Press back up. Lower all the way to your belly. Good. Now as you inhale, come into low cobra. Reach your heart forward, stretch, reach back through your toes. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, come back up into medium cobra, maybe a little bit higher. As you reach your pubic bone down, feel your glutes engage, contract your back muscles. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, come up into a little bit higher maybe of the cobra. Don't strain or force, but do work your back muscles and see if you can roll up a little bit more. Lower back down, press up into plank position. Stretch back into downward facing dog. Bend the knees, look forward, step or hop. Inhale, get length. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, stand. One more time. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Same exhale, step your right foot and inhale, come up. Exhale. Inhale, up dog. Exhale. Same exhale, step your left foot and inhale, come up. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. And then step your right foot up in between your hands. Turn your back heel down and put your right hand on the inside of your foot, left hand on your hip. Then slide your left hand behind your back. See if you can slide your hand to your right outer hip. And as the outer hip moves back towards your back heel, it'll help to steer you open in the pose. The more the hip swings out behind you, the more you fall forward. So steer the hip back and in under so you could open up. And as you squeeze your right buttock, see if you can reach your right arm forward. If it's too much on your lower back, just forget about it. Keep the hand down. And then put the right hand down. Start to stretch your right hip back halfway. Maybe all the way so the right leg goes straight, depending on your flexibility. Then bend that right knee and come into reverse warrior. Upright yourself. Raise your right arm. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, Utthita Trikonasana, which is a fancy way to say do triangle pose. Bring your left hand down. Spin your back heel up and bend your right knee. Twist, raise your right arm. Turn onto the outside edges of the feet. Turn your right palm forward and reach up and overhead as you lift your hips up. Then sink your hips towards the ground as you look back and reach your hand back towards the back of your mat. Lift back up. Put your hands onto the inside of your foot and step into plank pose. Bring your feet together and roll to the outside edge of your right foot. Take your left arm up. You can modify by dropping the knee down if it's too much to hold your body weight on one hand. Turn your left palm forward and reach the arm overhead. Take your arm back up. Downward facing dog, stretch back. Step your left foot up. turn your back heel down, left hand onto the inside of your foot. Wrap your right arm behind your back. Hook your hand into your outer hip and see if you can draw the hip back. Now if you're less flexible, you're going to need to elevate your left hand because your body will round over in this position. And you don't want to strengthen poor posture. So you want to teach yourself the right form. It's not wrong to be rounded, but in this pose we're working towards a neutral spine. You want to be able to strengthen and move in all the different positions. But in this, you're looking for a line from your back ankle to your head. Now as you press into your left heel and engage the muscles in your left buttock and outer hip, maybe you can take your left arm forward. Intensify the pose a little bit more, challenging your core strength. And then put your left fingertips back down. Start to straighten your leg halfway, maybe all the way, depending on your flexibility. Rebend your knee and come into reverse warrior. Straighten your left leg, Utthita Trikonasana. Extended triangle pose. Watch your breath moving in and out through your nose and observe the sensation. Stay inward. And bring your right hand down, spin your back heel up and twist. Turn onto the outside edges of the feet. As you lift your right hip, stretch your left arm over. And lower your right hip towards the ground. As you reach back, look back. Lift back up. Put the hand onto the inside of the foot. Step into plank pose. With your feet together, turn to the outside edge of the left foot and take your right arm out. Turn your right palm forward and reach your right arm overhead. Back to plank pose. Downward dog. Look between your hands and step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, find a flat back. And exhale, fold. Hook your big toes and inhale, get more length. And as you exhale, bend your elbows and drop your head. Release that, and we're going to practice hand balance or handstand. So if you're not a full handstander, you can just work on down dog on your forearms, building strength in your core and your upper body. We're just going to do a quick posture check with the arms. So I want you to just raise your arms up overhead. Notice the tendency for the pelvis and the rib cage to lose alignment. So to help, you're going to lift through the front of the pelvis and reach the buttocks down, which will help to draw you back into alignment. Instead of letting the front of the pelvis sink forward and down, you're going to take it in and up. So just notice that sensation. Okay, now before we go to balance on the arms, let's do a little mobilization. So come to a kneeling position, which you may want to take your block or a pillow or something in between your knees if it hurts to kneel. If you can just sit on your heels, no problem, that's fine too. Totally okay with either one. Now for this one, depending on your shoulder mobility, you might want to take the strap real wide. You might be able to go kind of narrow. You can sense what you need, but I want you to keep this connection of rib cage to pelvis as you take the arms up. Instead of letting the ribs go forward and up, see if you can keep the ribs aimed down as you take the strap up and over. And then back up and over. And let's just do that 3 more times, nice and slow. Reach the sit bones straight down. You might be able to choke up a little bit each time you go. Now I want you to notice one thing, that we can get a little bit more space if when we take the arms up, if you elevate your scapula without shrugging up into your neck, by elevating from the armpits, you might be able to take and get a little bit more range of motion before you pass up and behind. And as you go back up and overhead, do that elevation and see how much more range you could get. So when you take the arm up overhead, you want to allow for the reach of the blade without the rib cage moving with it. Okay, let's practice going upside down against something now. We're going to practice walking into the wall as close as we can. I don't have a great wall space for this one, but let's do what we can. So either practice dolphin pose, down dog on your forearms right now, or try walking up the wall for handstand. Ready, set, go. Before you go to walk up, do the shoulder blade movement. Reach into your hands, push the floor away, and remember your rib cage and pelvis connection. So here's the pelvis wanting to spill. Gotta hook the pelvis up and reach hips to heels as I draw the front hips towards the ribs. And come back down. Rest in your squat for a few breaths. Do a little pancake stretch or Upavista Konasana. Sit with your legs wide apart. And for some, this might be a deep enough stretch, or you can start to lean forward. Maybe you can hook toes, outer feet. And as much as I'd like to just keep stretching with you for the rest of the day, I feel like we have to wrap this thing up here at some point. So as we hold for these last 5 breaths, start to slow the breath down. And as we breathe slowly in and out through the nose, we're aiming towards 6 seconds in with a little pause and 6 seconds out. so that the 5 breaths takes just a little over a minute. Now, optional, but you know how before Shavasana, sometimes you do like a tension release sequence where like you tighten all the muscles, tight, 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 and then you relax? So you have the option to do that from this position to help to lock in this hip flexor range that we created. So you can either just lay down with the relaxed sensation, or you can squeeze the muscles in your quads, squeeze in your hip flexors, squeeze in your abs, and then try to lift your legs up as high as you can and hold for 10, 9, wishing I would have just gone for the Shavasana at this point, 8, squeeze, 7, 6, almost there, 4, lift up one more inch, 3, 2, and lower down. Lie down onto your back. Thank you. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for class today. If you'd like to finish with a 5-minute guided Shavasana, then you can click this link over here. If you'd like to finish with a 5-minute silent Shavasana, you can click this link here. Shavasana is the most important part of your practice, so I recommend that you finish with that. I'll see you next time.